Hey guys, welcome back to Ferrigno Freedom Channel. I'm Dante Ferrigno. I just recorded 15 minutes of me talking to you guys about something I'm pretty sure the devil don't want me talking to you about, because right when I was about to wrap it up and pull this hamburger out of the chef maker, my video camera went bananas and said that the memory card had a malfunction of some kind. So I had to format the video card and start over. And then on top of that, it's thunder and lightning outside and the power went out. So it's been just one thing after another trying to get me not to talk about this video. But that's why I'm gonna come talk to you about it now anyway. But since I'm already here at the point where we're gonna talk about the burger, I just cooked 1.4 pounds of hamburger meat in my Dreo chef maker. I wish I could go back and show it to you, but that footage is gone now. I had some ribeye steak earlier today, about 4 hours ago. And I understand that the concept of eating one meal a day usually would be eating the whole meal in one sitting, but I only had a little bit more than a pound of that meat available at the time. And then when I got back here, I was still hungry. So I finally got around to making this hamburger meat. So this is gonna give me roughly 2 pounds and 4 ounces of hamburger meat today. All of it's been grass-fed, grass-finished. It all came from Big Mo cattle. So I'm excited because this has been, what, like 10 days now or 15 days? Let's see, 13 days that I've been eating only grass-fed, grass-finished beef. And I can tell you, I noticed the difference not only in the taste, but also I started into keto flu the first couple of days that I started eating the grass-fed meat as opposed to the store-bought meat. There is clearly a difference in the quality of the meat, the omega-6, the omega-3 ratios. And I got a whole video talking about that with me and Miles Moore. I've actually got several videos where we go into details on the beef out there. I just wanted to say that it really is making a difference, and I am sticking with grass-fed, grass-finished beef for the next 3 months, if possible 6 months, depending on whether or not I can get another cow on time. But so far, it has just been amazing, the difference in eating really good quality beef as opposed to some store-bought stuff. And I usually buy the good store-bought stuff. I don't necessarily buy prime, but I don't buy the cheapest thing, the stuff that comes from Mexico where they let it do grass-fed, or they eat the grass all the way down to the ground and they don't even treat the animals for worms and things that they get when that happens. I mean, I get the good stuff from Publix and Walmart and Sam's Club and things like that, but eating this has really made a difference. But you know, I wanted to talk to you about something different than cooking in the Dreo chef maker or cooking this particular meat right now anyway. I will say, while we're at it, there are links in the description for the Dreo chef maker still. The Kickstarter program has been going great. People are getting their chef makers and they're telling me they love them just as much as I do. I love them so much I got 2 of them now. I still use it all the time. And if you're interested in knowing more about Big Mo cattle, I'll put some of the links to the videos where I've talked to Miles Moore, the owner of Big Mo cattle, in the description. It may not be easy for you to get beef from him, but at the very least, he might know somebody who raises beef the quality and the way that he does that you can get a hold of in your area. So you can always reach out to him and get those answers, and I'll also put his email in the description. First, I gotta eat some of this burger because I am ready to eat. Boy, I tell you, I'm hungry. Never thought I would love just sitting here eating a hamburger. Now you can see how well it's done. It's got a pinkness to it that you don't usually see in hamburger meat. Oh, but it's so good. That is so good, but I want to tell you before I forget too, I'm still using Redmond smoked salt and I'm still getting my weight down. So those of you who have suggested that possibly the smoked salt is causing the weight gain, that's not the case. I'm actually back down to 186. I'm only 10 pounds heavier than I was at my very lightest that I've been since I was probably 11 years old. But Redmond smoked salt is fantastic. You can also get links for that in the description. I just wanted to say that before I forgot while I dig into the rest of this meat, and then I'm gonna come back and tell you what I wanted to tell you about. Well, now that that's all done, I'm satisfied. It feels so much better to have a belly full of good meat to power you for the rest of your day. I love it. Anyway, what I wanted to talk to you guys about was something that I've kind of hinted about this in the past, and I've talked about it a little bit before. It was something that really came home to me yesterday. Katie and I were out at Rainbow Springs, where we like to go swimming down there. And yesterday we decided to do something different. After we went for our first swim in the spring, we decided we were going to go kayaking. It was the first day that Katie and I had had a moment to ourselves after dropping the kids off at school, and I didn't have to be at work. We decided to kind of just take at least a half a day off because we both had to pick up the kids from school later. Then she had to take the boys to karate, and so I mean things were about to get crazy again, but we had a nice moment alone. And we spent an hour just kayaking down the river in one of those tandem kayaks, and it was a great time. We were out in nature. It was beautiful, cool water on a hot Florida day. Got a little bit of sun, got a little bit of exercise. I was reminded of the fact that I don't have as much padding back here as I used to have, as I got a little bit of a blister from the rocking back and forth while I was rowing the kayak. You know what? Those are the kind of problems that I don't mind having. But what I did find out, or what I noticed again, something that I tend to do even when I'm out in public, but typically when I'm by myself, I'll make sure that I always say, good afternoon if I'm walking by somebody, or hello, how are you today? Just a little greeting, something like the way people used to do it back in the 1800s all the way up until, I don't know, the 60s. I mean, I remember watching Gone with the Wind, and that was the way they walked past each other, so I assume it was commonplace back then, and I've done reading about the way people deal with each other in public. We don't do that much anymore. It seems like most everybody is in their own little bubble. They're walking, looking at their phone. If they're with people, they focus only on those people, especially if they're walking by while you're coming the other way on a walkway. Nobody wants to make eye contact. They're afraid to make eye contact. They're going to look up at the sky, down at the ground, over at the scenery, over at their partner. Anything they can do to not to have to make contact with somebody. And I can understand that because we feel like we're living in crazy times, and it's not you. So it's got to be them that's the crazy ones, right? So anyway, like I say, I can understand because we're living in crazy times. We got corruption at all levels of our government, fires burning in Hawaii, there's farmers being put out of their jobs and being put off of their property, and it seems like evil is winning across the board, which as a Christian, I'm not surprised to see that because this is the devil's world and we don't expect that we're going to be able to change all of that. But at the same time, we are supposed to love our neighbor as ourselves and to treat people the way we would want to be treated. The old golden rule, to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. I don't like walking by groups of people and feeling like there's just no human contact at all. Just taking the time to say hello, to say good afternoon, can make somebody's day. I can tell because the way they react to it is exactly the way you would think. That they go, oh, hey, how are you doing? I've actually even heard some of them when I'm walking by. I had these two young ladies that I was walking by, and I noticed that they were in that little bubble where they were just looking at their phones. Didn't look like they were having any fun at all. Katie and I had just gotten back with the kayak and pulled in. We were going up to pay for our time and kayaking, and they had just gotten their life vests and were fixing to go kayaking. And they looked like they were so unhappy. I had to say something. So I said, y'all have a good time out there. And it struck one of the girls so much that she stopped and she said, oh, well, thank you. And then she looked at her friend. I could hear her behind me as I was walking away. She said, wow, what a nice man. I mean, if I hadn't said anything, it would have been one of those interactions where they're not paying attention, we're not paying attention. Two groups of people just passed each other by and nothing positive happened. But yet after that moment, I guarantee you their day was better as a result of that because they felt that contact that you just don't get anymore. And as you can hear in the background, my kids have gotten home from school, so I'm having to fight with the chaos. My wife's got the dogs outside now so that I can finish talking to you guys. I already had all this in the can before the camera fouled up. But anyway, I still wanted to come back and talk about it because I think it's so important that we take the time to be civil to one another. Those powers that be, those principalities and powers in dark places that don't want us having communication, that don't want us enjoying life, that want to control our every thought and our every deed and what we eat and what we think and what we watch and what we do, they don't want us enjoying our time together. They don't want us having that communication. So I encourage you, take the time to say hello to somebody. I'm not asking you to get involved in a fight going on or to step in and put yourself in harm's way. I'm just talking about being a decent human being to other human beings around you. I don't know what it's like in the country you're in, but here in America, it feels like everybody's kind of in that tight little bubble right now, and it doesn't feel natural, and I don't like it. And I know that it has a big part to do with what everybody's eating, because I know I felt that way back when I was not eating the right way, when I was eating the standard American diet with all the garbage and the seed oils and the sugar and the things that were causing inflammation and pain in my body and in my gut. It's so much easier to just be decent when you're not hurting. It feels good feeling good. And it allows you to want to pass that on to somebody else, to be able to encourage somebody else to get their health back, or just to go about their day feeling like they're not living in a world of evil going on all the time. That's basically the message I wanted to convey, and I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you next time.
If we pay extra, could we maybe get some grease or fat?
Well, I've been recording the whole time. I guess you get to watch me eating. Now you get to watch the dogs eating or licking the plate clean for me. Good job, guys. One thing I like about having dogs is that they make my dishwashers work a lot easier.